State gets a huge road victory. Mark, great working with you again. I hope to see you down the line.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hi, John A., and thank you for being with us tonight after a very close and tight game with Ball State. We'll get our press conference started, and we're going to start with Justin Kelly from the Northern Star. Justin, go ahead with your questions for John
A. John A., unfortunately, you guys didn't come up with the win, but tonight you had a season high from 3-point land. What are some of the things that you were able to do and you saw for you really to shoot that well tonight from 3-point territory?
I don't know. I think I just told myself to calm down since I didn't shoot that well over the weekend. So every shot that I took, I was just telling myself to relax and shoot my shot.
Johnny, to bring up the weekend, like you said, you guys didn't shoot that great from 3-point territory. Is that something that was like a team rhetoric? Because as a team, really, have you guys calmed down a little bit? Because sometimes it seemed like you guys were a little too amped that Kent State series back game.
We were too what against Kent State?
You guys were kind of, I would say, a little amped, a little frustrated. Was it this little break more of from playing those two games at Kent State, kind of a refresher in a way? Because you guys shot the ball well from 3-point land.
Yeah, I think our coaches did a really good job of like hyping us up after the weekend, just giving us like good morale and talking about what we can do better so we can be playing our best basketball going into Cleveland. So I think that's credit to the coaches.
My last question is, really, it's about Ashlyn Brown. You at times you were down there trying to help rebound it yourself, as this team does really well. What is it like? I know I saw you a couple times trying to block her out. What is it like trying to block her out? Because she's Ball State's all-time leader in rebounds. She's a very physical player.
Yeah, she's a beast. I told anybody that asked me about her, I think she's one of the best post players in the league, and she's incredibly strong. So it is really hard to box out. Obviously, I'm not down there with her all the time, luckily. But yeah, she's just all around really good post player.
John A., thank you so much. That's all I had.
Thanks, John A. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you.
And now we've been joined by Aaron Hodges. Aaron, thank you for joining us here. And we'll go straight to questions for you from Justin from the Northern Star.
Aaron, Johnny kind of brought it up about health and you guys being ready for Cleveland. Over the weekend, you kind of went down with an injury and you missed the second Kent State game. First of all, how are you feeling? You look good in that second half. You look like your normal self. I know the first half was a little shaky, but you really found your footing in that second half.
Yeah, I think it's just using the adrenaline really to just throw off the pain that I'm feeling throughout the game. But it's really just digging deep and trying to do everything I can for the team to get a win.
We've talked a couple times throughout this year. You're a key part of this team, especially in the transition. What are some of the things that you were able to do? I know you were kind of missed on Sunday's game. What were some of the things that you're able to do in the open court to really even help yourself out and really find an open teammate?
I think it's just pushing the ball as fast as I can to put pressure on the defenders trying to get back. And then if I don't have anything, then the defense is normally out of position for me to pass it out, and hopefully my teammates knock down a three.
Aaron, my last question, I said, you're second in rebounding tonight. You had 2 offensive. But same question I asked just John A. I said, Ashlyn Brown, she's really, really tough to guard, especially in the post. But when it comes to rebounding, it takes 2 or 3 people to block her out, it seems like.
Yeah, like John A. said, she's very strong post player, and I would agree with her as well as saying that she's probably one of the best posts in the league. So it's just trying to work harder than she is and try and get the rebound over her and boxing her out.
Actually, one last question. How is it important, not just only for you to stay healthy, but for the whole team really stay healthy, for you guys to finish the season strong and to have a big run in Cleveland?
It's very important. Everybody understands how vital it is to take care of your body each and every day. And the coaches tell us that each and every day as well. So we know that everybody's important to the team in order for us to have success that we need. So we're very shoved down our throat that we need to take care of our bodies, and we know how important it is.
All right, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you being with us. Okay, and now we've been joined by head coach Lisa Carlsen. Lisa, thanks for being here and joining us. And can you please start us off with a statement about tonight's game?
Well, we're not happy with the outcome, but I think there's a lot of positives that we can take from the 40 minutes of basketball that we did play. It really came down to Ball State making a couple more plays, especially late in the game and in that fourth quarter. It was a couple offensive possessions I think we would want back and shoot it a little bit better, obviously in the fourth quarter. But that's that game has a tournament feel to it. And we're going to look at it in the positives that we did have during the course of the game, hopefully rectify a few of those things and continue to push forward.
Thanks very much. Justin from the Northern Star, go ahead with your questions for Lisa Carlsen.
Coach, my first question is about Aaron. It's can you talk about like how nice it is to have her back? I know she missed that game with Kent State, and she mentioned she's in some level of pain, but we've talked about how important she is to this team, but she's going to be even more important when it comes to conference tournament time.
Yeah, I mean, she's critical to what we do in a lot of different facets of the game. We need her on the defensive end, her athleticism and her length and her ability to guard on the perimeter as well as rebound the basketball are really critical for us defensively. And then offensively, she is a little bit different from a dynamic standpoint. She's somebody who can slash, can put the ball on the ground, can get to the basket, does a great job in offensive transition. And so, again, she adds a dynamic that we don't have from anybody else. That was obviously evident over the weekend, and it is great to have her back on the floor.
Coach, you talked about a couple times in that second half, especially in that fourth quarter, where you guys were kind of inconsistent a little bit. Is there something you guys really need to work on to tune up before the conference? Because this is, I believe, the second or the third game now. The fourth quarter you guys didn't play terrible, but at the same time, you guys were clearly kind of outplayed because they shot 69% to your 33%. They played really well defense in that fourth quarter as well.
Yeah, and I think it really came down to Ball State made a couple more plays in the fourth quarter. They got good shots and they knocked down good shots, shot the ball well. I don't know that it was necessarily our lack of, defensive intensity. And I thought we got good shots in the fourth quarter, not enough of them. Maybe we get ourselves to the foul line a little bit more or whatever, but one or two possessions, you can look at that through the course of the ball game and find one or two possessions that you would definitely want back. Unfortunately, Ball State made more plays down the stretch.
Coach Johnny, she had a season high, and I have to really look at her previous numbers. Could be possibly a career high night from three-point territory. She was really, really a key factor in that second quarter to keep the game close, and that third quarter, a big factor coming out of the halftime.
Yeah, Jonna is definitely a confident shooter. Once she sees the first one go in, she hit some tough shots too. It wasn't like they were all uncontested. So when she feels like it's coming out of her hand, well, that's what kind of output you're going to get from her. And her ability to score the basketball in bunches was evident tonight.
Coach, my final question is roughly the same one I asked John A. and Aaron. Ashlyn Brown, she's Ball State's all-time rebounder. I've watched every game so far. This is probably, at 6'1", she plays it like she's way bigger than that. She is physical. She has really good post moves. How do you stop a top player like that? It's kind of hard, right?
Yeah, I said even before the game, we needed to keep her off the offensive glass, which I thought we did a pretty good job of. And she really kind of, imposed her will late in the game, which is what you expect your best players to do. She's a lot to handle for everybody. Ashlyn was Ashlyn tonight, and those numbers are something that she replicates on a night-to-night basis. Unfortunately, we have to have a couple possessions where, we get a couple more scores then she's not put in a situation where essentially she is able to win the ball game. I don't think anybody's going to necessarily be able to really shut her down. Her athleticism, her ability to move, and then obviously her ability to score around the basket have been very consistent this year. And she was able to knock down her free throws as well, which isn't always the case. So, we didn't do a great job on her, but I thought at times we did an okay job. We just have to be able to counter that a lot of times offensively, being able to hit a couple more shots.
Thanks, Coach. That's all I had.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Coach Carlson, we had questions on offense. You guys did a pretty nice job tonight on sharing the basket, and you had 8 different players with an assist, and a total of 15 on your 28 scores. So is that something that has been emphasized, and especially also you see a lot of your post players throwing it out and getting those assists?
Yeah, I think it's something that we've emphasized since day one. We knew in order for us to have success, we were going to have to share the basketball and get a lot of people involved. And there's going to be some things that we look at, like I mentioned, during the course of this ball game that are going to be real positives for us. I thought we got back to playing a lot more like ourselves tonight. You just have to credit Ball State for a couple more plays, and I can't emphasize that enough. It's important for us to continue to obviously win ball games, but build momentum for hopefully an opportunity to play for a conference championship. Because if we can get ourselves there, I think the opportunity for all 8 teams that do advance to Cleveland are going to be real. Anybody can win it with one good week of basketball.
Great. Thanks very much, Coach. Appreciate it, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. 12